Hello everybody, how are you today? Welcome to my live video. I'm Karen Barno with Possibilities Cafe. How are you? I want to talk to you today about what I think is one of the most powerful words for women, and it's the word power. I think the majority of women have challenges with that word. They have challenges with the word power because in order to say you have power, you give power, you hold power, means that you have to stand fully in your greatness. And I think as women, and I think men in some cases as well, struggle with that. Let me give you an example. I was talking to somebody over the weekend and we were strategizing some legislative issues. And she's like, well, Karen, just wield your power. And I looked, I said, I don't even know what you mean. She goes, yes, you do. She goes, you have a lot of power, go use it. And I recoiled from that. I pulled back and was like, well, no, I don't. She goes, well, what would you like to call it? I said, well, I like to think I have influence, connections. And she's like, no, just get used to it, you have power. And the word just was like, ooh, it kind of scared me because when I hear power, when I think of power, I think of, abuse of power. I think of, not being good with power, not being nice with power. And I really have spent about 72 hours just kind of kicking that word around and thinking, why do I fear that word? What is it? So then I started asking people, what do you think about power? And doing some research, on the internet. And, I read a lot of leadership books because I love leadership. And I just see that women have trouble with that word. And I think for us to stand up and be who we are, we have to sit back and get comfortable with holding power, with wielding power, knowing that as women, we wield it differently than men. Women are much more relationship based. Women are much more touchy and let's sit down and chat about this and let's figure it out versus, I'm the boss, I'm the CEO, it's my way or the highway. Or, I've got this influence over here and if you don't listen to me legislatively, I'll go call this person or I'll go do this over here. We're more relationship based with, why don't we talk this out? Because I really don't want to have to call over to that person and say, hey, why can't we work this out? But I think you really need to look within yourself. And when you say the word power, how do you feel about it? And it doesn't matter if you're a small business of one, if you're a CEO of a large company, if you're a CEO of 6 or 7 other people, how do you view the word power? Because I think for women to come into their own, for us to get comfortable in our own skin, we have to embrace the word power because we have to step into our greatness. And I think that's the overarching goal for everybody, is to step into our greatness, is to be comfortable with who we really are. Not the who we tell ourselves we are, not the who when we're trying to downplay who we are, or we're trying to play small, but who are we when we are standing with pride, when we're standing in who we really are meant to be, when we're standing in our purpose. That's the person that has the power. And that's the person you have to get comfortable with. You have to get comfortable with all eyes on you. You have to get comfortable with making decisions. You have to get comfortable with telling people, that's what I decided. And it could be whether you're telling your children that, your husband that, your wife that, your boyfriend, girlfriend. You have to get comfortable looking at people and saying, because that's what I've decided. That's how it's going to work for me in my life. Doesn't mean that it'll work for you in your life, but this is how I'm going to live my life because I'm going to take my power back. The power that we've given away to everybody else. And so you can have power over me, you can have dominion over me, because I don't want to stand up and say, hey, you're not the boss of me. And I hope I'm making sense here because like I said, I'm still working through this, I'm still getting comfortable with that word. And I've said it to myself a couple times today to get more comfortable with it, instead of just saying, well, no, I really just have a lot of influence. That's, I just have influence. No, women, we have power. We have our own power, and you have to step into it. And you're watching it play out more and more as women start taking our power back. You see it in politics with more women running for office. You see it in the Me Too movement. You see it in Not Now or Never Happened. Sorry, I don't think of that. I can't remember that one. You see it in all these different movements that women are banding together and saying, you know what? As together, not only do we have influence together, we have power together. So get comfortable with that word. Please let me know what you think about the word. Tell me if you use the word power easily and effortlessly and it doesn't bother you, or if you're kind of like, well, you know, and you know, I had one friend tell me, well, it's a masculine term. Well, it's not really a masculine term. We've made it masculine because we've allowed guys to have all the power. And this again isn't, you know, beating guys down or anything like that. We need to say we also have power. So I hope this has helped you. I hope it helps how you look at power. I hope it helps you begin to want to step into your greatness, step into becoming you, becoming an enchanted leader. Because I think that as women get comfortable in leadership roles, and I like the word enchanted because that's spiritual. As we get comfortable in our spiritual leadership of ourselves and others, we need to help reach out and help everybody else as well. So let me know what you think. As you know, I always say sharing is caring. If you want to work with me, please let me know. You can go over to my Facebook page. We're there right now, and right there is Mentoring with Karen, or go to my website, KarenBarno.com. If you want to do some mentoring with me and kind of get comfortable in standing into who you are and trying to heal that childhood imprint that has made you shudder from the word power. Because obviously somewhere along the line, somebody looked at me and said, you have power, and made it seem like it was a bad thing. And we'll talk about that probably tomorrow. I look forward to talking to you guys later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.